one commenter, Denny, dash IX9SX about a week ago. I'm not going to be disrespectful nor condescending. I'm just simply I'm going line by line so we can just deconstruct the comment a little bit. And so I'm going to go ahead and read Denny's comment, which by the way, I really appreciate.
And the rest of the comments.
Yeah, and the rest of the comments that he had, because he also has another one. So his first comment that he posted a week ago says, people need to submit to proper authority that is acting in its proper jurisdiction. A lot of people in this era don't want to submit to authority, but you have put yourself in a position where you will have to be made to comply and stay on code. Because you think that your personal selfishness is more valuable than the entire collective of original American Negroes. Now, reading that comment is a lot to unpack. And Denny, I really appreciate your comment.
Yes, I really do too, Diddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really do. And, it's good that us as Black folks can sit here and have these, to have these conversations in a more less toxic light.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of us within the community that we're, depending on where you stand, and I'm talking about marginalized groups within the Black community.
Yes.
And there's a lot of we're just not hearing each other. Yeah. We're just talking at each other.
Yeah.
Mostly through trauma, lived experiences, and also white supremacy, because they have agendas to divide us within the community. Mm-hmm. It's deep. So I appreciate this, Denny. And I guess my question, I don't really have comments. I think questions are the what for me is the most would be the most useful.
Yeah.
So it's like your first sentence saying people need to submit to proper authority that is acting in its proper jurisdiction. And I guess I'm guessing my thing is, well, who would be that proper authority?
I feel like we should read the whole comment first.
No, we did.
Oh, okay.
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm checking our emails.
Understood. No. No. Understood.
Still, okay, got you.
Understood. We did. No, we did.
Yeah.
So, and I guess, so again, your first sentence is saying people need to submit to proper authority that is acting in its proper jurisdiction. And I guess my question to you, Denny, is, well, who exactly would the proper authority be within this within this context? Mm-hmm. That's that's my biggest question for that. And then the next stanza, you say a lot of people in this era don't want to submit to authority, period. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. And, I guess my rebuttal to that would be, just to kind of piggyback, and I to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, is that I think a lot of Black folks in our era today, I don't know how old you are, Denny. So I'm not. It's like, so I can't say what era you speak of, if you're speaking from, if you're an older person speaking on it from to a younger generation.
Yeah.
Or if you're around our age, I'm in my late 30s, so it's I just want I'm not exactly sure where you're coming from, and I feel like a lot of Black folks, just in general, in this particular era for us as Black people, we have a lot more options of doing things, and there's a lot of people doing other things. Mostly, I think Black folks are doing it mostly for their mental well-being, because there's in the Black community, especially now, and I would say probably within the last decade, a lot of Black people are going the route of addressing their mental health. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of things that we're seeing. Mm-hmm. So that could be a reason of why this, why maybe you feel as if this era, and I'm not saying it's wrong because because you are right at that. There's a lot of people that don't want to submit to authority. We're black. We just, we naturally, are going to be kind of going against the grain when it comes to authority. We're always going to try to sidestep it. Really. You know what I mean? Mostly. We know it's there, but we're going to try to sidestep it, especially if we're trying to get somewhere. And so there's that. The next sentence is, but you have to put yourself in a position where you will have to be made to comply and stay on code. And I guess, having to be made to comply to what exactly? What is, I'm not sure if you're speaking for, black, for the black collective.
Yeah.
Or if you're speaking about black women in general. And I just wish that was just a little bit, I wish you could kind of expand on that a little bit more. Because
I mean, also, when you say comply to what rules? Because comply states to be in coherence or be in approval as one action. So what are we complying to? What are you asking us to comply to? Are you asking us to comply to the basic laws that we have set up, by our colonizers? What do you want us for as a community to create laws for us to? What basis do we have to comply to? Because as his first statement, I suggested that I felt like it just was like conversations aren't had, that he felt like as African Americans, we are all just caught up in our individual struggles, that we can't communicate because we're all stuck in our individual struggles, like the black woman struggle, the black man struggles, the LGBTQ. And because that, we also can't look past our struggles and see the other ones when we need to like kind of come up with like some kind of common thing. So what do we have to be in compliance with?
I totally agree.
It's definitely
I totally agree with that, Chantel, because and Denny, and like, as you can probably hear us, now. We're just kind of bouncing it off because we're actually thinking about what you said constructively, and I can only imagine that you are a black man. I don't know for certain.
We don't know, but
I don't know for certain, and this is just we're trying to sit here and like I said, I have questions. You know what I mean? Because it's because your response, because like we really enjoyed your response. We don't have many responses on here, but we wanted to make sure that we engage with the people that are responding. So this is the last sentence, and he says, because you think that your personal selfishness is more valuable than the entire collective of original American Negroes. And the one thing I'm gonna push back just a little bit, because it's it's important, because we're not all going to agree, and this is just a time, this is just and this is just this is just us trying to like just trying to have a better understanding. I don't believe that we as collectively as black people, or as original American Negroes, as you put it, well, my biggest question is, who are the original American Negroes? Because that is actually a term. It's this is new to me. I've never seen the term original American Negro. And I guess my question to you is, Denny, is, what is an original American Negro? I can get, the only reason I'm asking is because I want to see what you have to say, just to kind of expand on that too. And I mean, and the only thing I can guess is just based off my own wits is that, black folks, possibly in the 19th and 20th century, that really shaped, what with what happened and what occurred in the 1960s with this, and that started the civil rights movement, gave birth to it, at least starting, the groundwork so that we could have the civil rights movement. That's the only thing at the moment, that's the only thing I can, really think of what is, the original American Negro. Now, as far as personal selfishness is concerned, I don't believe that us collectively as black people, as or as original American Negroes, is depending on how you view it, I don't know. I don't feel that we are selfish, and I also feel that because of our individualized experiences within the black community, we are I feel like kind of warranted a pass to be a little bit more selfish than others. Not because we're marginalized groups within the black community, but just the black community as a whole.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't want to get to a point of where we're just looking at the big picture.
Yeah.
All the time. Because even in a big picture, you can still see blemishes, you can still see false strokes.
Yeah.
You can still see a lot in a big picture, and it's a lot that you can miss in a big picture. And I don't believe that that we as black people are inherently selfish. And there are, and within those marginalized groups within the black community, that's and as we are with black people, how we are, how we are just in general, is that it's reactionary. This is a reactionary thing, something, it's a survival thing.
Yeah.
People want to survive within the black community. And I think that's the most, that's the thing that really kind of gets to it. It's like we want to be seen. Is this recording?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes. I do this all the time.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. You just never know, It's... No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think, as to piggyback after what I was saying prior, I think he's right, because we're kind of still caught up on our divisions and what we need as far as individuals in the black community over the majority. And unless we come to a common denominator, we kind of still be stuck in the argument phase and not the actual making progress decision phases.
I don't even think, hold on just 1 second. When you said the argument phase, I think honestly, us as black folks, we're constantly in the debate phase. Nothing is ever being moved forward.
Yeah.
I don't call it arguments. I call them debates, because it's just like, because then I feel like we can't change the conversation.
You're right. It's not an argument, because in the argument, I don't know, because I do feel like it's an argument because we're not hearing each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a debate, because when you debate, you're hearing the other party out, and then you can actually move on from debates. That's the point of debating. Mm-hmm. I do feel like it is an argument between everybody, because we're so combative. And we haven't got past what we feel like we need and deserve in the community. Mm-hmm. And that is what's keeping us, stuck in the not being able to move on to the decision phases. And I think people also need to be more understanding as far as black individuals and the reason why we may be stuck on our side of the fences and how we feel. You gotta understand, like in my part, and I'm having conversations too to understand, but just to speak on myself, I think I'm caught up in an argumentative phase because I feel like that I am not ever heard. So I feel like when I do think about the majority and go out for the majority of my community, I feel like history has showed me as a black woman that it always benefits others, and my needs never get heard. Every movement that I have supported, it seems to work out for the individual and never for me. And I feel like it's so many compromises that I have made to make everybody else comfortable, and I'm never heard, or I'm like left on the sideline. And then I feel like at this point, like we're having conversation is definitely needed, but I am at the mindset where I don't care about how the others feel, because I felt like as I was lifting you up, you completely left me behind. And at this moment, I feel like all the blame, everything is on me. The conversation is not what can we do, is the conversation is now to me, what can you do for me? Mm-hmm. Because I have already done. Mm-hmm. And I constantly, and I cannot continue to give myself up, meaning, combine as a black woman for me to be completely pushed aside. So I think where I'm stuck in the conversation is I don't want to hear how we can make it right, because every time I hear that, it requires me compromising and it never comes from the other sides. That's how I feel. Not saying it's true, not saying all black women feel like this. I'm just saying how supportive I have been, especially with my black men, and stood beside them for them to constantly shun me. And I'm like, not only that, it's like, yo, my best friends was the LGBTQ, and I feel like I'm getting backlash from that too. So I'm like, at this point in time, where's my place in this world? It's not with the white man. It's not with the white woman that betrayed me to get her spot. And so I think a conversation is definitely needed, but we are traumatized on all ends. So I do think we do need to come together as what he would probably say the original Negro. I don't know how you would, describe the original Negro, but I do think that we have to come up with a certain requirement, or I don't want to sit there and say laws or whatever, but a better way for us to start communicating, and not only communicating, acting on these conversations, and not sidelining the other, or not using one to get to where you need to be.
I totally agree, and the and it's like I'm going back to what you said about it. You were talking about that was big of you to say that it's just like as where I'm at in this in the black community, I'm in the argument stage, and that's you're constantly arguing, and it's just like you're at a you're at a different stage within our community, where you're at. So where it comes to like sharing your using your black woman privilege in the black community, because even as a black woman you still do and have a lot of privilege within our community.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Yeah. I mean, we basically shaped everything.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we can Juck and Jive move the way we. It's because of the black woman, but I can't be a stepping stool no more.
Yep.
I can't. I can no longer use that energy for everybody else, and that's like even in my personal life when I explain to you, I'm when I really love someone, anybody that's real close to me, I'll give you my all. I put my all in you. And me, I found out by doing that, I thought that gave me personal happiness and gratification by making sure that everybody I love was okay. But what I found out was that is not the case, because what ends up happening is I put my all into an individual. And when there's that time when I need them, they're not there. And I'm not getting the same thing. And you know what? Number one, I have to let you know that is somewhat of your fault for sitting there putting your all in an individual and not receiving the same. So don't think like, yeah. No, that is a mistake. You need to read people and understand certain relationships and understand how far you should go with individuals and what you should do. So it's like with the personal relationship, and then when they sit there and they shun me, or they take my advances and they do what they do, and I'm feeling left behind. I'm like, but I was, but like, but what, but I'm sitting there expecting more of you than what I should. And it's like, that's how I'm at with all the relationships in our community, that, I keep just overly exhorting myself, putting myself out there in the hopes that I'll be accepted and loved. But what I'm doing is I'm end up hurting myself because I'm not receiving the same thing. And I'm sitting here asking myself, but why don't these people love me? Like, why don't these people do these things for me? And then when I'm basing me off of how their reactions and how they feel about me, I'm basing my happiness on how happy they are. And I'm starting to feel a certain kind of way because they're not reciprocating the same actions, but they never did that in the beginning, and it was never established that that's something that needed to happen. It's just you went ahead and poured your all into this individual, and you're expecting them to give their all back. That's another thing, when we expect certain things from people that they can't give.
Yeah.
And in the black community, we're all healing.
Yes,
So
all of us are. And, because, what I was saying was earlier was that, you're in the argumentative stage.
yeah.
I'm for me, where I'm in the shutdown stage. And the shutdown stage is, I'm in the shutdown slash, yeah, I'm going to share some, I was like, I'm going to share certain things with with certain black folks within the community that I feel like that I can trust. And mostly because of the simple fact, I don't want it to come off and act like that, that I don't give a shit about the black community, which is usually the attitude that a lot of people in the black community have about someone like myself. And that could be furthest from the truth. You know what I mean? Of me not caring. I do care. I care I care in a very different way, because it's the simple fact I try to hold a lot of black men and black women accountable for the bullshit that they both for bullshit that they both put up. And the reason I say something about it is because I date both y'all. And I was just like, and I see the pitfalls because of where I stand at it. I stand at a very unique place between black men and women. I stand at a very unique place. And I can look at you all very objectively. and to really and not and to look at you all as like, well, listen, I'm like, I'm not. I was just like, I'm like, hey, I'm not here to like cause any problems, but hey, from what I'm seeing from the both of you, X Y Z, and it's not because oh I feel like I know better. This is just what I'm seeing because I'm trying to contribute what I can contribute, and what I can contribute for me is it was just like is the fact that I can look at it's like I can look at things objectively and try to sit here and bring some things out that maybe us as a community are kind of missing. I want the communications to be better between y'all because it's actually the most important. It's one of the most important thing.
Oh my gosh. So, oh my freaking gosh. So that being said, let me break this down to you. As far as our community, you are marginalized. You have no space. So, because we're always in the conversation about the black woman, black male, and LGBTQ, bisexual people are the most marginalized in our community. Because we're like, pick a side, bruh. Because a lot of us are in the argumentative stage.
And the world, and the thing is, the world is like that.
Yes. So we want you to pick a side, and if you're not on a side, we marginalize you.
Yep.
So because you're marginalized, you're basically like, I have no voice, and I understand that. I understand that I have no voice. Y'all don't even see me as credible or as a certain place in this community, and that's why you say you're where you're at. And I think, number one, that's very important because you are still part of the community, and your voice is probably what can actually bridge the gap between both of us, or all three of us, because you're basically on the inside looking out at all the corners. So, and what I mean by inside looking out, because everybody likes to stay on the outside looking in, meaning that you have connection to every last one of us. You have connection to the conversations that we have individually with each one. And you can sit there and bridge the miscommunication because you understand how we all feel on each and every level. But you're marginalized because we need you to pick a side. You know, and even when we were sitting here discussing this and you were saying that, I'm like, da-ding, like, you don't have a place in our conversations. And that's not good. That's not good at all. Not at all. Because you're very important to our community. Like I said, you can kind of probably bridge the gaps closer than each one of us alone. And two, you still experience everything an African American goes through in the United States on all classes.
I'm still a black man at the end of the day.
Still presented as a gay black man, a black man, a straight black man, a black man. So you still, no matter what, experience everything that we go through. Because you're still, they don't see those titles. All they see you as is a black man. But we don't see you that way in our community.
Right. And it's just like, and that is the most, for me, it's just like, it's like that alone, I could sit there and be like, I ain't fuck with y'all. You know what I mean? I could. Oh, there's more comments.
Yes.
There is. We're not going to answer Chuck.
You're recorded, bro. You're recorded, and we're answering everybody. Because I might want to say something on what Chuck has to say.
We might. I might have to. Unfortunately, the thing about with Chuck is I'm probably not gonna be as hospitable.
Because nobody knows what Chuck said.
We'll get to Chuck, but we're still not done with Denny because Denny
got another comment.
Denny does have another comment.
So let's hear Denny.
Chuck is going to be a separate video.
You know what? We're not separating Chuck. Chuck will be with the rest of the comments. Just read the comments.
All right.
God, what you say, Chuck?
Now she wants to know what Chuck said, but we'll get to Chuck.
We'll go in order.
We're going in order. So, but Denny has another comment, so we have to continue with that. So yeah. I was like, here we go. So I guess me, where I'm at. It's like I'm a bisexual black man. I have a lot of things that are, that challenge the.
Oh, that's what he says.
Oh no! We're still yeah.
Okay. That's the only reason I said, oh, stat.
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
Gotcha.
And so there's a lot of things. My presence really challenges really challenges the stereotypes of black folks when it comes to the LGBTQIA plus community. It challenges their whole perspective.
I told you, because everybody wants you to pick a side.
They want me to. They want me to. And I feel like even that thinking alone is just like, that ain't gonna work.
No.
That's not gonna work. And, picking a side is just like, so you think I can just turn this on and off like a switch.
No, it's not that. I don't think it's on and off thing. See, picking a side does not represent like a switch. It means when it is time to fight and when there's an argument that needs to be had, what side are you on the discussion board? That's kind of what it is. Who are you going to champion for? Because we have not gotten to the place where we can have a uniform mind and think that we don't have to have titles to be able to have this conversation. You are the alien, you are the non-norm, where it's like basically you can have all these conversations with every last one of us. So it's like when it comes to a vote, it's like either you Democrat or Republican. When you say liberal, it's like, well, what the fuck is that? You need to pick a side because your vote doesn't count unless you're on one or the other side.
Right.
And it's like we're tallying for votes because we have not got past that argumentative stage. Yeah. We're still trying to we're still trying to basically discuss and plead our cause.
Yeah.
And that's that phase. That everyone, we're still trying to say, but what about, and like I said, I'm even in agreement to that. Next comment. I'm even in agreement to that because I told you where I'm at. I'm even at the point where it's like, bro, I get what you're saying. I don't care.
Yeah. And
this is what I need. This is what you got to do. Either you step up to the plate or you get ran over because I am tired of being floor bad. And I know this is the wrong attitude to have, but I am still open-minded. Hence these conversations. But I'm still got one ear closed.
And the thing about it is, it's just like I don't expect anything more from the black community, just because of the simple fact of what I've experienced in my life already. So it's just like I'm like black. I was like wow. I was like a hetero black person not listening to me about the issues that I face within my own community. Riveting. Okay.
No, I do expect more from the black community. That's why I think that I think this podcast...
I do too. I expect more.
I think that's why I wanted this podcast, because I really believe that all of us feel like it is time to heal and to have these conversations and to get over whatever we're going through. I do have faith in the black community because of the simple fact of everything we have built. Everything we have overcome, everything that we have done, black, white, gay, bi, whatever, no matter what, when our backs is up against the wall, we were literally slaves and cattle, and we invented and we are where we at. So I completely have faith in the black community. I don't believe that it is hopeless, but you have to understand when there's 3 months of brainwashing, it takes twice as much to unbrainwash the individual. And I feel like that we're in this brainwashing season, and we're getting out of it. I haven't given up on us.
I haven't given up. It's just the simple fact of the notion from black folks, which kind of like honestly.
Gotta read the other comments.
No, I know because I haven't finished. I think my notion is it's like picking a side. It's just like, what do you mean picking a side? I said I'm black, and I can tell you from a lot of most black folks who are who identify as black LGBTQIA plus within the community, they are. I was just like they mantle black issues first more than anything.
Yeah.
And when I say like a good amount, I'm talking like 85% plus. 85%. You know what I mean? And I'm not even like that's loose, but for the people I've met over the years, they're usually the most we're usually the most pro black ones. Usually. I was like, even if you see like, black men, black LGBTQI men, they're mostly with other black men. Mostly. And the ones that you do see with white men, they're weird as shit. They're weird. They're not. I was like, they don't fraternize with the community. It's like they're very like out. They're very like weird and out there. You know what I'm saying? Basically, disrespecting themselves for white glares and for white validation, because they those types of people crave white validation. Yeah. They crave it because of the simple fact of they feel like the black community has done them a disservice, and they probably have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that it hasn't happened, but unfortunately, they let that deter them from the whole thing at hand. I was just like, our community is more important collectively than than just one individualized experience within our community. But we also have to realize that the individualized experiences within our communities matter.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Not one experience matters. And we tend to put one experience, individualized experience, or the one that most of us have gone through, to the forefront in that community. So when the other ones that come up, they're like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? They had this coming to them. They had that coming to them, or a lot of different things, and the thing about it is you can't, the conversation just can't stop there just because it's something that you can't really relate to. But you have to relate to it because this is another black person talking. This is another black person talking. And I guess it's just more of just feeling humanized, because the simple fact, humanized and not used as like, an accessory or a novelty act. That's not what I am, and that's not what most of the community, most of the people who identify like I do are, that's not how they feel.
It's not how they feel, but that has been the blacks. We grew up dehumanized. We grew up as cattle. Yep. And we started to see our worth. And now everybody's trying to get out of that mindset.
We all are. And the thing is, we need to be more open and letting other experiences have their say within the black community.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's just everybody.
The thing about it is what blacks need to understand is these conversations need to be had within our community, every last one of us. But when we are out there with them, we need unity. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's the next one?
So another Denny's comments, and then we'll get to Chuck. Yeah. Well, anyway, Denny says the whole
It's his birthday, by the way, guys, and he talk about he's supposed to be up at a certain time, and we still on comment number 2. But anyway,
Thank you.
happy birthday, Looney!
Thank you. Anyway, we don't need you. Denny says his next comment, his last comment says, we don't need you to submit. Now that the Democrats' boot is off our necks, we will simply do what men have always done. We will build and outperform you, and you in turn will do what women have always done. Come around trying to get in our good graces to get the benefits of what we have done for ourselves and society.
First of all,
Hold
I'm
on.
gonna let you know. Listen, I'm gonna let you know this, right? Looney came at your first comment. I was champion for you. Now I'm about to go in, son. But go ahead.
I said it, Denny. I was giving you an olive branch. And I said, and the thing is, I said in the beginning, I said, I don't know. This is going down a path. This language, I've seen it.
Daddy! Daddy!
Chantel is very disappointed in you.
Daddy!
Now she about to go in on you. However, it's just like, now we don't need you to submit. Who are you talking to when you said we don't need you to submit? Now, are you talking about black women? Are you talking about?
It's giving me the language that black men don't need us to submit. Okay, this is the language I'm getting. Y'all don't need us to submit. Now y'all got the white man boot off y'all neck. Y'all can do whatever y'all want.
No, they said, well, no. He says Democrats.
Yeah, I got you. Anyway, he put a class. They all the same anyway. So now that y'all got the white man off of y'all neck, y'all can do what y'all need to do to build y'all family. And don't you chicken head black women come clucking around when we reach a certain status. That's what I got from that comment.
Okay.
Complete. So I'm gonna tell you this. You know, hopefully you can understand me, right? You're right. You don't need us to submit. We have a community have shown that we don't need each other, that we can strive without. This is not the point of these conversations. Okay? And what do you mean that once you reach a certain pinnacle that don't us start clucking around? Do you understand? Do you understand that they use black women to keep you down? You are considered our protector. And you will get the worst treatment over us. That's why black women were offered so many things. So as far as job and schooling, benefits and support to uplift the black woman, even housing, to keep you down. To keep you down. They were trying to use us to keep you down. That is not the conversation that we're having here. The conversation is, as us as a community, we need to come together. If you're already in that mindset of when you reach a certain pinnacle that you no longer need the black woman, then this is not the podcast and the conversation you need to be having, because this is not the subject of the matter. It's not if we need each other or not. No, but we're trying to build our community and build up ourselves for other little black boys and girls, and any of your kids that you have will be a part of that community. And that is the point of the podcast. Number 2, sweetie, as I stated before in my original, on your original post, that it's always been on the blacks of black women. The only reason why you got to vote was because of a black woman. The only reason why you getting your pay is because of black women. The only reason why you feel like that you ain't got no boot on your neck no more is because of the educated black woman. And everything that we did. You know what? As we lift you all up in the community, once you gain your status, you've have the same mindset of a lot of black men that you no longer need. It is okay when you are on a certain pinnacle, but once you reach a high, it's no longer us. It is okay to watch your mom struggle from the hood, but then you want to sit there and blame black women on why life is so bad.
Ooh, let me get in on this.
But, like, bruh, that is not the context of this podcast. And I'm so disappointed because you literally have a black woman that wants to sit here and come together, that is putting away her personal issues, basically sitting there saying to your face, you have used and abused me too the fuck much. And it's very convenient for when y'all get to a certain pinnacle for you to step once again, put a boot on my neck.
Right.
You sound like the colonizer. Why would you say that to your own women, to your own people, that once you get to a certain point, fuck you hoes?
Now, I told you, Denny, I was going to bat for you.
Bitch, you need us hoes. The world need us hoes. Y'all run on the backs of black women.
See, she actually ran back. See, she ran back to the mic to go say
You
that
don't
shit.
need us. The whole shit is built on us. Y'all motherfuckers been sucking off our titties since we the fuck been here. We raised the whites, women, men, every damn body. What the fuck you mean you don't need us? The reason why you got your freedom was because of us. Black women in the motherfucking ear, bitch.
We need viewers. Now listen. We need viewers. Okay. Let me get away.
You're gonna do the same thing to Chuck. But that was wrong, did he? It was wrong.
I'm about to get Denny too.
And I still like you.
Yeah.
But nigga.
Yeah, I like you too. Now, let's talk about this next comment. Now that the Democrats' boot is off of our necks. Denny. Denny. This tells me so much about you. Tell me.
Are you a mega?
No. It's like telling me that you voted for Trump without telling me that you voted for Trump. It's comical, for you to come in with this second comment talking about now that the Democrats' boot is off our necks, when historically the Democrats have done way more than the black community. And if you're gonna talk about the Republicans that ended slavery, they were basically Democrats from today. They're not. It's nothing. It was just like
same values, just different class party. They switched the
they switched after the Civil War, and after the Civil War, it was like the Dixiecrats. Remember Dixiecrats went Republican, and it was like and all these other people. They switched because they were just like, well, I don't agree with this, so they switched parties.
I feel like it was propaganda.
Huh?
It's a party switch.
Huh?
To think that you was on this side when you was really on that side when they all the same damn side. A boot on a nigga neck.
But also what we need to realize is Republican, Democrat, left wing, right wing, same fucking bird. It's the same fucking bird. And I can't sit there and go off on you a little bit because it's just like the Democratic Party has done more for the black community in the last 25 years than the current administration that's in there. Right now, the current administration is trying to strip away our rights even more. Strip away all the things that we've worked for, all the bills that have been passed, all the laws that have been passed, so that we have a fair shot of getting the things that we need.
And I'm like, did he, like you say now that the boot is off of your neck, so you stated what the problem was, but why is there still animosity with black women? I think that's a deeper conversation that needs to be had because it's clearly, it's a divide there. But it's stating to me that we're not the issue. Maybe it's internal. I don't get it. Like you sat there and said, what was your downfall? So now you're able to achieve, and when you can reach a certain status, as we feel like a lot of you do, to maintain that status, it's better for us not to be by your side. So that also goes to your first post. So what laws and things that we need to abide by? Because it sounds like you like to abide by the colonizers.
Everything he's saying in this second comment is very white
Looney
centered.
told me when the first comment that it was wording was very shaky. I was trying to give you a benefit of the doubt, but as reading the second comment, ding, 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 bruh, you
Right. I was right.
he was right. He was right, and I don't feel like my podcast was trying to diminish the black men. It would just I was trying to let y'all know that I want y'all back. I need y'all back. But it still seems like
literal pin, the thumbnail we have says protect black women for the video, bruh.
so
What
it's like,
more did you really need
so
from
I'm
that?
like, so I
And when did we get into politics?
but it's like you still is like when I get on my shit, fuck you, bitch. And I'm like, wow. Like here am I still advocating for you as I was stating before, and you will put your foot on my neck to get ahead. Bro. Danny.
It's very disappointing because his
Danny.
first comment was okay, and we could go through that. And when I was reading all these words, I'm like, oh, he's probably putting all these words as like jurisdiction and all this other stuff. And by the way, we also, the more we talk and the more we get looser and more we like engage, the only reason is because of the simple fact I'm holding this huge bottle of Hennessy. Okay.
That's not the reason.
It
I
is.
would like everybody to know that even though we're responding to your comments, like I really appreciate everything, and I won't like really go deep, but it is conversations that need to be had, and it's I like the interaction with the comments because I am getting other views. So who we got?
Columbus Palmer. Hello, Columbus.
Hey, Columbus.
Oh goodness. All right.
Yeah, he already know, like, she's about to hurt your feelings, and you always so nice.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. And they're not gonna like me when I start doing it. Just now, Columbus Palmer, his whole comment's pretty long. He says, just listen, I think he means listening to her about black men stepping up to the plate, supporting and protecting her. Through about one man, Robert William Deacons of Defense, who protected his family and community along with other men against white men oppressing them. When a black man is being oppressed and he doesn't take it out on his oppressor, he takes it out on the one that's closest to him. Yeah. Just like a pimp, he imitates his oppressor or master. Instead of protecting her, he abuses her. The white man is about controlling something or someone. Well put, Columbus. Your typos were a little much, but I got through it.
Don't go there. Y'all can type the way y'all want. We can read through sublines because the conversation needs to be met, and it does not matter the lingo. We can understand.
I can. I'm sorry. It's my mouth.
I'm not gonna come at y'all about how y'all write, because at the end of the day, communication is communication. How you communicate, another needs to still hear.
Yes, and I'm fine with the way y'all communicate.
And Columbus, and you know what? I think you got the point of, and I think you got how I was feeling. And you are completely right, because the same goes for black women that, you know, we take it out on the closest to us. But, you know, pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, Columbus, honestly, I don't have much to sit there and go off of.
Yeah.
Because everything you're talking about is
like
pretty.
You got the point of
you got the point of the conversation. You were clearly listening to what was being said, and and you're right about the white man controlling something or someone. That is very true, and I guess for me, it's a red flag for me especially when I see straight black men who have a
his sex.
But I'm just saying, I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about in general, Columbus. I don't know. I don't know about your sexuality or anything. So I'm not. So don't take anything that I'm saying. I'm just talking in generally. that, you know, a lot of prominent straight black men that are in our community, you know, they, you know, it's a red flag for me when they are always speaking of control or trying to control something. Because of the simple fact, I feel like that's an inherently white male trait.
Yeah.
Inherently.
And he stated that, and that was well put.
Was well put. And I agree. And I agree with you, especially on your last line. I agree. I agree with you on, you know, on the whole take. Columbus actually did a very good job. He clearly listened to the podcast.
Yeah. Because it wasn't. I did not want to attack the black men. I did not want to. I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm here with my arms open, and I need y'all. I need y'all.
Yep. And even with me, it's just that
without me, you know, basically begging and you know, pleading, is just really having a conversation to let you know that we are better together. And no matter where I strive in life, I need y'all.
Correct.
And I don't care what other women may say, no, because they're not looking at the bigger picture for my community. Because I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm having black kids. I have black kids that's gonna grow up in this world, and I need these conversations had to make it better for them. I mean, I currently have a black little girl. So, you know, these conversations need to be had, because what is life like for her? What is dating like for her?
Yep, Columbus, there's not much we'd have to go on with that. Good job, Columbus. Now.
Let me go in. I'm the nicer one.
Chuck Scott 4661.
Oh my gosh.
We're not a community, and black men don't owe black women anything. Kick rocks.
He's trolling. And if you feel that way, go ahead, Looney.
All right, Chuck.
This is me letting the black man handle this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you're a troll or if what you meant was serious. I'm going to say you meant it seriously based upon the 1, 2, 3 periods that you put in.
I feel like it too, and I just was kind of laughing that comment off.
Yeah. It's like, I really feel like you're serious about this. And you says, we're not a community. It's like saying the first sentence, we're not a community, is saying, hey, I date a big, fat, ugly white girl and I had kids with her.
Bruh. See?
Thank you.
I'm nicer.
That's what it tells me about you, Chuck Scott. You clearly were raised by a single mother. Because, of course, black men, most of the black men that have this view usually don't have their fathers in the house. And by the way, I had a father in the house. I was raised by my grandfather, actually. So if you want to throw that out, try to throw saying that I didn't have a man in the house, you're actually 112% mistaken. And for you to say that black men don't owe black women anything is one of the biggest lies, because the simple fact your father didn't do anything for your mother. So you don't feel like your father owes anything to your mother is kind of crazy, even with the absence of him. Yeah. It's not too much I have to say more than what I just said, Chuck. You know, I have to say your take on this is very misguided. I don't know why you have so much hate towards black women, but you love your mother.
Or if he does.
Huh? I mean, even he clearly must love his mother, because it's like these black men have them say anything about their mother, they're gonna go crazy. Okay? Have the same.
I don't feel like you love your mother saying things like that, but you possibly maybe do. That's the only black woman you can love, I guess.
Yeah, because it's just like, for some reason, you don't have a good view of other black women, which is also very odd to me. And I'm not gonna ask. I could ask him like, well, who hurt you? Or I could bring out a doll and say, where did this black woman hurt you? And point to the place. You know, I'm not 100% sure I could do that.
Yeah.
But
one actions over the collective. And it's funny because when it comes to black women, you like to use those actions, but the colonizers had so many actions against us. But okay. I want to start off with the comment